What's going on, everyone? UFC 305 is taking place this weekend, and in the main event, we have Dricus Du Plessis taking on Israel Adesanya. This is a fight that I've been super excited for quite some time now, to be honest. I think the rivalry these two have with each other, whether you think it's good or bad, is going to make for an entertaining matchup because you do get the feeling that these two actually just really don't like each other. Not to mention, both of these guys have had great fights in recent memory too. I mean, you have DDP who just took on Sean Strickland in a war, and whether you thought he won or not, you can't say it was a robbery because it was a close fight, and anybody could have gotten it that night. But I thought DDP won, and I thought he deserved to win, and he did. And he put on an incredible performance, as he did against Robert Whittaker prior to that, to get his title shot. So DDP, he's on a bit of a run. He's beaten two really good, credible opponents, and now he faces one of the greatest middleweights of all time in Israel Adesanya, who has taken the longest layoff of his career since he became champion. And it's been a while since we've seen him. Last time we saw him was against Sean Strickland, where he was dominated. He didn't really even win a round, in my opinion, and he honestly got figured out. And it seemed like Strickland really damaged Izzy's career in a way, because who knows how he's going to be able to bounce back from it. After being at the top for so many years, beating opponent after opponent, to have a guy come over and completely shut you down and figure out your game plan, it's going to be demoralizing. And Izzy is going to have to really dig deep to come back and win this one. I mean, he had to do that against Pereira as well, because before that, Pereira came in, took away his throne, and then Izzy went back and defeated Alex, of course. So he has to kind of do that same thing here against a new guy in DDP, and he has to let his emotions stay out of it, because he seems very affected by DDP's comments, and it's really getting to him and could make for it to affect how the fight plays out. Stylistically, I think this could make for an interesting fight. I mean, DDP is a guy who likes to be in your face and putting constant pressure on. That's what he did against Sean Strickland, and that's why it was so effective. Also, DDP is definitely going to go for takedowns in this fight. I don't think it's going to be as grapple or wrestle heavy as a lot of people think it's going to be from DDP, but there's definitely going to be takedowns. And the way DDP likes to do it is by setting it up by throwing jabs or straight crosses and then shooting for the double leg. He did that multiple times against Sean Strickland, and it worked out for him. And that's pretty much going to be his key to victory, because he can't just try and fight Adesanya's fight. That's not going to work. He has to be in Izzy's face, putting on constant pressure, and that's how he'll dominate positions and get takedowns as well. And you got to remember, that's exactly what Strickland did against Izzy when they fought, and it worked pretty well, and it threw Izzy completely off of his game. A key to victory for Izzy would be to stay on the outside and control the distance. If you don't let DDP get to you and you can hit him from afar with straight shots or kicks, then you're going to be fine, because you have the reach advantage, and from there you can dictate the fight. As soon as Izzy gets close to DDP or allows him to have any grappling exchanges, I think it's going to be wraps. I think DDP will maul him in that department. So as long as Izzy stays on the outside and picks his shots, I think he's going to win. And I'm not saying that Izzy has to stay on the outside and completely just try and have a points match, because honestly, I see a world where Izzy can catch DDP. Because DDP is so unorthodox in his striking and unique, it leaves him open sometimes for single shots to actually work. Izzy could land a check hook or a straight right when DDP's throwing and catch him. I could fully see that happening. It's there for the taking. The reason it didn't really happen with Strickland was because Strickland wasn't throwing anything too damaging at DDP, and just I don't think carries that power. But I think Izzy does if he's able to land flush. I'm just not sure if he will. But after all that, my official prediction is going to be Dricus Du Plessis to win this fight against Israel Adesanya. I think the striking combined with the grappling is going to be way too much for Izzy. I think he's going to use his game plan against Sean and implement it on Izzy, and it's going to work the exact same. DDP is honestly one of the most slept on guys in the UFC right now. You never hear anybody talk about him, but this fight's going to show that he is the best middleweight in the world, and I think he matches up against Whittaker again nicely, and Khamzat as well. For Izzy, I just think that this is a bad matchup for him, really. And I think he's going to have lost a bit of his hunger that he's had in the past, and he's going to let his emotions take over in this one. And I don't think that's going to work for him. I think he needs to be calm in there, and he usually is. But with all the emotions flowing, with the hunger starting to slip away, this is now the third time he would have to regain the middleweight title. I think it's just a lot, and I think he's getting up there in age. He's made so much money, and if he loses this one, where does that really leave him? So I think there is a lot to lose here for Izzy. I think that he does need to win this fight for his career, but I'm just not sure that he will. I think DDP is just too good for him right now. I think this is Dricus' era, and I think he'll get the job done. But there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts on this UFC 305 main event. This is honestly the only fight that I'm super interested in on this card, to be honest. So I wanted to shed some light on it. And the rest of the fights they're okay, but not great quality of pay-per-view. I'm going to be having a video that comes out next week talking about the pay-per-view situation in the UFC because, to be honest, I think it's a bit ridiculous right now. Thank you all for watching this video, and drop your pick down below. Who do you think is going to win this fight? I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.